This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Hello, this is Doyle. You're listening to Spirit Talk Show, Bedtime Stories for Grown-Ups. We are reading AI-generated stories, some original stories, some plays, some poems, whatever comes up. We like to talk about cool things on the show too, so please, if you'd like to get involved, please go to spirittalkshow.com. And of course, we also like to have guests on. And tonight, I'm very excited. We welcome actor and voice talent Chris Laird, winner of the Best Actor at Sacktown Movie Bus Fest for his role in The Jacket. You've seen him in 13 Reasons Why, Ballbuster, and Fire on the Ridge, and heard of him in audio dramas on AM radio. From improv to ghost hunts, Chris brings big energy and sharp instincts to every story. Let's dive in. But actually, before we do, if you live in the Sacramento, greater Sacramento area, you need to go to sacgaymanscourse.com and get tickets for their 40th anniversary Pride concert. This is the Sacramento Gay Men's Chorus, which I'm a member of myself. We're singing pop songs, some traditional songs, and a really fun, campy show. Please grab your tickets at sacgaymanscourse.com. We are at the Sophia, which is, if you're in the Sacramento area, you know this Sophia Theater. So please go grab those tickets. When this show comes out, it might be late May. It might be sold out, but always go on Facebook. There's people always trying to sell their tickets. But this is a show that you should see. It's part of the community. It's pivotal in the community. So please go on, and we'll see you at the show. Okay, great. So now I've kept my guest waiting long enough. Let's meet Chris. Hi, Chris. Thank you. This is Chris Laird. Thank you for coming in the studio with me. You live locally here in Sacramento?
Yes. Yeah, I'm in the Sacramento area.
Okay. And you've just recently been on a TV show, right? Like 13 Reasons Why? Was that years ago or recently?
Oh, yeah, that was years ago. Okay. That was like right when I first started getting into acting.
Okay.
And yeah, they were filming 13 Reasons Why in the Vallejo area and Santa Rosa area.
Wow, that's great.
So they, a ton of local talent out here ended up, working on there on like smaller roles. So yeah, I had a featuring role in that. I was one of the football coaches for one of the high schools for the show. It was in season 3, and so I was a part of 2 episodes. We filmed for like 4 days out there.
And you had like significant lines, more than 9 lines, right?
No, I didn't. I had 0 lines.
Oh.
But there was a couple close-up shots, which ended up working out pretty good because there's this one scene where we're doing it's like an assembly. So the football team was there. They were all dressed up. The coaches were in the front, and some of the main stars on the show were football players. And so they were sitting right behind me, and the camera just zoomed right across.
That's great. That's great.
And that was right when I first started acting. So that was kind of cool, because a ton of the people that I know in the area, they were a part of it too. I met a bunch of people out there, but they were, just background in the crowd. And so it was kind of cool to actually, be seen in a Netflix series when I just started my acting career.
Well, my first career when I first came to the United States, I don't know if you knew, I'm from Ireland. And I worked in Hollywood. I worked in a few productions, and I know that when people come on, they don't want to give them like too much lines because they have to sag you, right?
Right.
If you have a certain amount of lines, you have to be union, right? And so they,
I mean, I was at the very beginning of my career, so I mean, I could have had lines and stayed non-union, but then I would have been a must join at that point. So
yeah,
I'm kind of thankful that didn't happen because I feel like if actors. If they join SAG too early in their acting career, I think it could backfire.
Well, because people can't hire you because you're SAG.
Right.
And you can't do shorts and stuff.
So, yeah, it's great. I mean, when you're first starting in, I think, staying non-union for a while is great because then you can work on a lot of non-union projects. You can build your resume, get some great roles where you can, build a good reel. And then I feel like once you kind of establish yourself in that way, then I think, if you want to go SAG, then that could be the appropriate time.
Well, your reel looks pretty impressive on IMDb. That's why I looked you up. Although I wish there was more of a write up about you. But
yeah, I haven't really invested too much in the IMDb. I know I can pay monthly fee. And
well, how much is it? Is it like a lot?
I'm not too sure. From what I understand, I think it's around $20-something a month. And then
20s? That's all? Okay.
Yeah, $20-something a month, and then you can add pictures and then you can personalize your IMDb. I haven't really got into that part of it.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I enjoy still being in the Sacramento area. I still enjoy being non-union just because there's not really much SAG work out here anyways. You'd have to go to LA. You'd have to, somewhat San Francisco Bay Area, but even then, a lot of the stuff in the Bay Area is non-union work as well.
Well, I was recently in New York, and there's a lot of work there too.
Yes.
So you've done film, you've done improv, you've done VO, voiceover, you've even done AM radio. So talk a little bit about your voiceover, like radio voice stuff you've done. Radio voice, what was that?
Good evening.
Talk a little bit about your that stuff.
Yeah, so my voiceover work I've done. There was this guy. He loved doing VO work, and so he had some audio skits. He was also a big Star Wars guy, and so he wrote an audio feature, which was it was his own little Star Wars spinoff. And I think that ended up airing, on the Access Sacramento AM radio station here. And so that played on there. We recorded that. And then, I've done some YouTube videos. A couple of people have hired me to, voice over for their YouTube channels. Voiceover work is fun. I love on-camera work, but, I kind of just, I'll go wherever, I just like working and like being within the industry. So, voiceover work, acting, I love it all.
So tell us, what's the plan? What would be the dream?
The dream would be to just act full time. That'd be awesome.
Acting is not your job right now. You haven't done another job, and acting is the side thing. Or you're actually getting paid for acting right now?
Yeah, a little bit of both. With how it is in the Sacramento area, there's some stuff I get paid for, some stuff I do for free for some of the festival work and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's a mixed bag there in the acting world, but I still have a day job.
Isn't it odd that this is the first time? I think I've seen you before. We might have said hi, but this is the first time we've actually met. But you spent a few days in my house.
Yes. Yeah, that's actually pretty interesting. We filmed The Ghost Hunt at your house.
At my house, yeah.
And even though I never met you before, knew of you, but still even then, I don't even think you were at the house when we filmed.
I wasn't there. I was in Europe when you came to the house. I was in Ireland and England, and I'd given Chris, the director, the key or the code to get in, and I told him, don't leave food out. There's an ant problem, but I guess he did leave food out.
He did? Oh,
and it got covered in ants. Yeah, I heard about that. But also you met my dogs.
Yes.
My dog's in the movie.
Yeah, so it's actually interesting because they showed that at the end of the film. They showed that the room that we filmed in, I guess, is haunted.
Well, yeah, I know I was going to get to that next. I know.
Okay.
I know you have a story about it.
Okay.
An experience in my house, right? Or something.
Yeah, there were some interesting things. The funny thing is, the short film is called The Ghost Hunt. So we were, obviously these ghost hunters, and just so happened that I guess that the room is actually haunted.
That was one of the most, and the equipment that you used in the movie was my equipment too.
Okay.
It wasn't my equipment. I'm involved. I was involved in a group called Lingering Souls Paranormal, which is an investigation group. We traveled all over and did investigations, and that was our equipment. And that group is a little bit debunked now, but we still have the equipment. The
equipment was pretty cool. I mean, it was kind of fun to and we knew that the equipment was real. Yeah. So I think that was awesome that, we're portraying ghost hunters, and we actually got to use real ghost hunting equipment. So that was really cool.
So tell us about some weird experiences you had while you were in the house.
Well, so we heard about that, and we weren't quite sure how true it was.
Yeah.
And so the rumor is that the room that we were able to film in, I guess, is haunted. We didn't quite believe it, but your dog, I guess, will not go into that room.
She will not enter that space. Yeah.
And it was crazy because I actually got to see that. So, and the dog would see that we were there, would go up to the door would be open, go right to the entrance of the door, and then wouldn't go any further.
And she really wants to come in. She really wants to be
her tail was wagging. We were calling her, but she would not go in the room.
She will not pass that room.
And so then we're like, okay, maybe there is some truth about this room being haunted.
Well, the main kitchen room, there's a confirmed, like a person died in that room.
Oh, okay.
And that space is my Airbnb, right? That's right. And the bedroom, which is funny because that's where you see the ghost in the movie.
Yep.
That's where right where you see the ghost is the closet of the room, and that's where there's a lot of activity in that room, in that closet. Like guests close the closet all the time because they hear noises.
Oh my gosh.
Guests have even ran out in the middle of the night with doors wide open. I'd like to Airbnb.
That's wild. Have you, so since you have experience in ghost hunting, did you ever experiment and do some ghost hunting in your own house?
Oh, gosh, yeah. We've even had groups like over to hunt. Actually, the Sci-Fi Channel and the Discovery have filmed episodes there. There's an episode that I'm actually in called My Haunted Hometown that they came and recorded at the house. And a little bit cheesy. The way they edited it together is kind of funny. They said something belonged to my grandfather, which it did not belong to my great-grandfather.
Oh, so they were just making some stuff
to
make it sound good.
Well, there was I have this creepy teddy chair, and they put it in the back room, and they moved the furniture around and made it look like it. So they did kind of ham it up a little bit. But I've also I've also done investigations. I used to do events there where 20 people would come and we'd investigate the house.
Oh, wow.
And I have a picture that I took. I think Chris showed you when you edited it.
Oh,
of
yeah,
the
with
white
the
face.
With the face, yeah.
That's a picture I took of my son's bedroom from the living room.
They showed that in our movie as well.
Oh, actually, yeah, you had that in the movie. That's a real picture that I was at an investigation at my house, and I was in the living room, and somebody was sitting on the sofa, and they were just like freaked out. And then I heard a weird like creak from the direction of my son's bedroom, and I just went snap, and I got a picture of it. Looks like a white face, like appearing around.
Yeah, that was spooky. So, I guess to film a ghost hunting movie, I guess nothing better than an actual haunted place.
Haunted place. And I live there, and I am very comfortable there. And it's actually mellowed out a lot since I stopped doing events. And because what happened is there was a guy who was literally, we don't know exactly what happened, but he was attacked by a ghost upstairs. Like he had a camera, he had a real like TV show camera, $10,000 piece of equipment that suddenly went black, and he had heart palpitations. And when they CSI investigated the camera, they said lightning has hit this camera. Oh. And so something happened upstairs where so I've kind of stopped doing that stuff, and it's a really cool place to live, actually.
Yeah, maybe the ghosts are like, nobody's really checking us out anymore, so let's.
Yeah, well, maybe. So you know what we do in this show? We read AI generated stories, and I have generated one. The first one I think I'd like to do, if you're up for it, is a script, right?
Okay.
And here it is. Okay, I don't know if you can. Do you know why I use that font? Do you know the movie? The movie reason why people use that font?
I don't.
That's Courier New, right?
Okay.
And it's the traditional font of script writing, and it's because it's the font of original keyboards from the 1920s. that's when you type, that's what it looked like.
That's pretty cool. I recognize it, obviously, because I see a lot of scripts, but I never knew the backstory to that. That's
have you
cool.
ever seen a typewriter, the way they write? This is the font they write in.
Yes.
So, so this is a comedy prompt, right?
Okay.
Because I heard you do like comedy and improv. So I've tried improv. It's a little hard for me because I overthink things. And I know it's yes and is what you have to do all the time.
Yeah, that's like the golden rule.
Yes and, because you don't want to say, like, are you a dog? No, it kind of shuts it down.
Yeah, so like the main thing why you always want to yes and something, because if somebody tries to establish something, and then if the person in response shuts that down, then the scene just doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's always easier just to be like, okay, if you say that I'm wearing a ridiculously big hat, then you know what? Yes, I am.
Yes, you are. And it looks really great on you. So have you ever heard of Comedy Sports in San Jose?
No, I haven't.
So it's an improv comedy club. It used to be in downtown San Jose. I don't know if it's still there. But basically, they do improv like a sports competition.
Oh, interesting.
And it's actually really interesting. It's really fun. If it's still there, you should go. It's really fun. It used to be downtown, because I went to San Jose State. But I graduated in 2002, so it might be gone. I haven't checked in a while. Okay, so here's this part. It's called the emotional support demon. Okay, due to a clerical error in hell, a struggling actor receives a demon instead of a therapy dog. Surprisingly, they get along great until the demon starts booking more roles. Now, do you want to be? Here's the parts, right? Yeah, and would you like to be Nate, the struggling actor, 30s, neurotic, endearing, and self-downing? Wait, is that you?
No, that's definitely not me.
Or Gimbal, his assigned emotional support demon, sardonic, theatrical, and strangely wise. Which one would you like to be?
You know what? I'll be Grimble. That sounds kind of like fun.
I did like generate this story about like 20 minutes ago. It does look like the better part, to be honest. So I'll be the Nate, the struggling actor. Okay, so I'm gonna scroll like this. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep it going, but I'm trying to click here. It's better sometimes if I just do this rather than scrolling. Okay, so here we go. So if you could read all the expose stuff. Like this stuff, and if it says that, and then I'll do my part, and then you'll do your part, okay?
Okay. All right. Interior, Nate's apartment at night. We got city hum, microwave, ding, in a distant siren.
Too expressive in the eyebrows. That's my brand.
Low portal rumble, a whoosh, whoo. A puff of brimstone. Good evening. I'm Grimble, Hell-certified emotional support entity. You're supposed to have a Labrador, but the paperwork ignited.
Are you what demonic cosplay?
This episode is brought to you by Temptations Cat Treats. Your cat will come running for the perfectly irresistible Temptations Creamy Puree and Temptations Lickable Spoon Cat Treats. The best time to feed lickable cat treats to your cat is anytime. Feed by hand for a playful moment, in a bowl for a creamy treat, or as a topper to make mealtime fun. Visit TemptationsTreats.com to learn more.
Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for the stay.
Of course, yeah, the ISO 666 complaint, specializing in an anxiety reduction, crisis cuddling, and existential dread diffusion. Also trained in Swedish massage and jujitsu for creatives.
Do you bark?
Only when the director says, make it pop.
Wait, you come to auditions now?
Well, you are spiraling. I figured I'd help. Did a cold read for a toothpaste ad, so.
You booked my toothpaste audition?
Your gums deserve a defamation-free shine. They wept. I've got a callback for a Netflix miniseries about emotionally depressed sea monsters. Prestige.
I studied at Strasbourg.
And I rose from the flaming caverns of regret. Different schools, same drama.
You're here to support me, not outshine me on camera.
Well, of course. Unless they decide to cast Hamlet as a six-eyed infernal banshee with father issues, then I am the moment.
Just let me have the gum commercial.
Fine. But I draw the line at dog food. I have boundaries.
That's my agent. Please tell me it's not.
It's for me. I'm voicing a Pixar short. I'm a neurotic possum who sings jazz. They say my growl was emotionally layered.
I should have got a goldfish. At least he wouldn't have got a SAG card. Dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so I think that's the first script. So that was totally AI generated, even the prompt. So what did you think?
It's interesting. I mean, reading it off top, I mean, it looked good.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I would say if somebody gave me that, I would have assumed that it was written professionally.
Yeah, okay, well, so I think that I notice a lot with AI-generated stories is like they're funny, but I don't know if it really went anywhere, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was short. I mean, obviously, you know, with a short script like that, I mean, obviously there's more to the story you could tell. I mean, with that, with those two characters, I mean, they could have definitely gone deeper into their relationship, which I kind of feel like didn't really touch too much base on.
I like the humor of like make it pop. I like the Grimble.
Well, it's funny. What stood out to me was like, so he's supposed to be his like emotional support dog, but instead he's really there just to steal his thunder and take all the bigger roles that he's trying to go for.
Well, he is a demon, so
yeah.
I like the lines. The Valleys of Regret, same drama. It said, okay. So you had said to me that you wanted. I took it literally. You said comedy. You said horror. So the next one is a horror story, and I forget what the last one you said. We'll find out. And then what I frequently like to do is I like to take the information I can find about you online, all over, and I have AI write a tribute story. Right?
Okay.
And it can be a little uncomfortable to read it. And I actually did my first Patreon episode today because, by the way, you're now listening to 51,000 people. You're being listened to by 51,000 people.
Well, hello, 51,000 people.
So I did my first Patreon episode today because I guess I got to do that now. So I talked about the origin of the show and stuff and how it started. And I read some stories, but I had to write a tribute story about me, and it is a bit uncomfortable. But
I'm sure. Well, you know, I just figured, you know, this is Spirit Talk Radio, so I figured, you know, a nice little horror story would be nice to do.
Well, okay, and you know, I am also casting for my radio play called Afterlight, which is like I'm going to do with special effects and sounds and everything. It's going to be, you know, like ambient sound and everything because I used to work as an editor, so I can do all that stuff. So part of the thing, I'm having people contact me. I'm saying, well, probably a really great step would be come on the show and let's act together a little bit and see how it goes.
No, yeah, this is really cool. I'd have to say by far this is probably the coolest audition I've done to date. So
cool. Maybe a longer audition than you have done in the past. But we're already 22 minutes in. Wow.
Well, you know, the other thing too is like, you know, when you do auditions, the only people that are going to see your audition tape is the director and maybe a couple, you know, maybe producer and stuff.
Well,
that's about it.
Yeah, unless you make it big and then
there's not 51,000 people watching my audition. So
maybe there are.
Yeah, you never know.
And, you know, by the way, I've had some actors on, and if you like any of the stuff we do and you want it for your reel, I can send you the audio file of this.
Oh, yeah, that's
too.
awesome.
So, yeah. So, okay, because I had an actor on who was, okay, so this is the horror prompt. Do you want to, since I read the first time, do you want to read the description?
Yeah, the title is Please Don't Feed the Reflection. The prompt is: a man finds an antique mirror at a yard sale. At night, his reflection moves on its own. It starts mimicking things he hasn't done yet.
Okay, so do you want to read the parts? We'll decide what parts we're going to have.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, I think the old man sounds like that'll be fun.
Well, we got to read them for the people. So.
Okay, yeah. So there's 4 characters in this. There's David.
Yeah.
He's in his early 30s, quiet, increasingly unstable.
Okay.
Eric is also in his 30s. He's pragmatic, grounded, and a loyal friend. There's the reflection, which is also in David's voice, but distorted, slow, and sinister. And then there's the old man, unsettling, cryptic, yard sale vendor.
So I think somebody has to be David and reflection, and
Yes.
somebody has to be Eric and old man.
Okay.
Which you feel like? Guest choice.
Okay. Ooh. I mean, the old man would be fun, but it would be kind of cool to like be 2 different Davids.
Yeah, it would be. I think it'd be fun to like talk like David talks like this, but then David distorted. He can talk in a very kind of like what's the word, like stalled way too, which I think would be interesting. So okay, well, so it seems like you're leaning towards that.
Okay, yeah, I'll be David and the reflection.
Okay, so then I'm old man and Eric. I got to remember.
All right, let's see your old man voice.
Okay. Okay, so.
Oh yeah, let's see. Scene 1: yard sale, outdoor ambience, soft wind, cars, and distant chatter.
Be careful. What follows you home?
Okay.
Clink, coin, mirrors wrapped. It's another, like another scene.
Oh, yeah, there's already another scene.
Okay.
Scene. Scene 2, at David's apartment at night. Toothbrush scrubbing and faucet is running. It's just a mirror. Antique charm, right?
Creak of wood, faint metallic twang. The mirror shifts.
What the?
Silence. Wait, how is this written? It's another scene.
Scene 3. There's a phone call later that night. Cell phone dialing, ringing. Brrr, click.
Yo, what's up? It's late.
I think my reflection moved on its own.
Moved?
Like it blinked before I did, and then it smiled.
You're high.
Eric, I'm serious.
You want me to swing by?
No, I'm fine. It's probably just, I don't know, the light or whatever.
Okay, go to sleep.
Scene 4, bedroom at night.
I added a line because I just felt like it.
There you go. Improv, baby.
Hey, improv if you want.
Yeah.
Feel free.
Clock ticking. Distant thumps. Eric, I think it walked away.
What?
I'm looking at the mirror. I'm not in it. I'm not there.
Dude, are you okay? That mirror's got you spiraling.
Scene 5, bathroom the next morning. Water splashing, breathing fast. It's not real. It's not. You're going to do it again tonight. No, that's not me. Scene 6, kitchen, night. Drawer slides. Whoosh, knife clatters.
David, man, your door was wide open.
What? What the hell?
You sounded off last night. Thought I'd check in. Why are you holding the knife?
It's not for me.
David, come on.
He doesn't believe you. He'll try to stop us.
Who the hell just said that?
You heard that?
Yeah, it sounded like you, but wrong.
Scene 7, bedroom later. Camera beep, footage playback,
Beep, beep, beep.
low static hiss.
Robot screaming, internet. Okay. Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah. Feed me.
Seymour. That's your voice, man.
I didn't say that. I swear.
I have to say, I'm hating the way this is written. It's like...
Scene 8, confrontation. The knife drops, echoes. I'm not feeding you. I won't. You already did. The moment you stared too long.
Smash it now before it...
Feed us. Feed us. Scene 9, aftermath. Quiet. Glass tinkling, night breeze. Oh, wait,
You're David.
okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I didn't feed it.
Then why is your reflection still there?
We're not hungry anymore.
So, okay. I hate the way that was written. That was painful.
Yes.
It was painful that it was changing scenes so quickly.
Yeah, it was interesting because
I like.
yeah, but why was the reflection not hungry anymore? I don't know. I don't kind of.
Yeah, what did they eat? Like, and how did they feed it?
Right. Yeah. I don't know. There's too many question marks to this one here.
That's the shtick of the show is that sometimes the stories don't make sense. We get to laugh at the mistakes the AI make and how it doesn't really blend it to get together. And I don't know, was it when I heard a voice and like I said, who said that? Like a Scooby-Doo style.
Zoink, Scoob.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
Yeah, that could actually be a good Scooby-Doo episode.
Except for maybe the knife. I can't remember the last time I saw a Scooby-Doo episode, to be totally honest.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I have seen the movie, though.
But thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And thank you, everybody, for listening to Spirit Talk Show. If you guys would like to get involved, go to spirittalkshow.com and say goodnight, Chris.
Good night, 51,000 people.
Yes. Good night. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and keep your spirits talking. Stay spirited, my friends. Thanks for spending time with us. Now go make a story worth telling.